Alright, and welcome back everybody. You're watching the the Premier League Season 3. Of course, no Tidehunter just getting out of this Star Ladder match in the nick of time. Fortunately, their opponents forfeited just in time, so this will be a best of 3 series. There will be no forfeit this match, thanks to Pulse saying it was okay. Good sports there. Now, we do have full rosters for both teams here. Interestingly enough, Fishbone in the captain's seat tonight instead of Mini. Mini normally does the banning for Pulse and mostly does it by himself. Envy says it's supposed to be, on the other hand, no Tidehunter. Envy says it's supposed to be a team effort, but when it comes to banning, he says generally everybody leaves it all on his shoulders. So anyway, Bounty Hunter banned first by Pulse. I'm disappointed. No Tidehunter actually just finishing running another Shadowblade Bounty Hunter with Admiral Bulldog on that. I actually do love that myself, but it will be banned out this match. Magnetor also being banned by no Tidehunter. Kind of expecting to see Dirge banned out, possibly by no Tidehunter in a second here, although Pulse actually hate the hero themselves and don't like using it that much, so there we go. They do on the occasion put Wagamama on it, but that said, in this case, I think they're going to try and get their hands on a Wisp, so we may see it banned out instead for that reason, but we'll see what they've got in plan first. Or they might even try and first. Oh, okay, no, Wisp's going to be banned. No Tidehunter have done their research. Mini plays a hell of a Wisp. And there we go. Batrider first picked here. Why do I not have any in-game sound? They should be making noises. See if it makes a noise in a second. I think it might have been clicked on something else. 1 second. One moment. Just check what the hell's going on there. Alright, should be functioning properly now, I think. Fingers crossed. But now the double pick for no Tidehunter, and the question is what they're going to grab up here. Now we do have Templar Assassin available if they want, although that said, Batrider. And we're talking, of course, Envy was co-casting last night with me and said that Batrider is really annoying to play against. On the other hand, he doesn't, if Templar Assassin plays well, she can actually stay in lane. It doesn't shut her down completely. She can still get a bit of farm in there, although of course she does get jumped every now and then. It's not as bad as some of those dual lanes we used to see thrown against. Why do I not have any in-game sound? Something is wrong here. Something is terribly wrong. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's right. Okay. There we go. Okay, I've got some audio now. I'll just hit that again. Sometimes messing with that screws up the audio. Alright, so we do have Queen of Pain being picked up there by Pulse, along with, we'll see what comes next, but Jakiro and Templar Assassin snapped up by Tidehunter. No Tidehunter there. Templar Assassin, of course, S4 plays a very, very mean Templar Assassin. We'll see what Aki and Envy are playing tonight, but it looks like one of them is going to be on the Jakiro. It's Queen of Pain though. I get the feeling there's possibly going to be a suicide lane Batrider, or they might even just try. They might even just throw him into the jungle and just completely abandon the suicide lane. We'll see in a moment. It really depends what no Tidehunter are putting in that lane. Now Sven is still on the board, and of course no Tidehunter, well known for running their Sven, but that's it. Pulse are going to get their hands on it, so we're not going to see Sven in the hands of no Tidehunter. In fact, Loader, of course, is the one who always plays Sven. Now it looks like Admiral Bulldog will be getting his trademark hero, Lone Druid. Now, often he actually ends up in the suicide lane with this, so we'll see how he deals with it. That said, there is still a fair amount of nasty early mid-game potential. Of course, Templar Assassin, a lot of negative armor on those meld hits, which may be what they need to cut through Sven. That said, we might even see an early medallion getting picked up as well. Of course, Sven, one of his big draw cards, is a massive amount of armor that he can give people. What do we have next there? Banned out. We do have the Darkseer banned out. Interesting. Wow, Darkseer actually managed to slip through both the banning and the picking phase there. This is fairly rare for a Darkseer, often picked up fairly early on. But that said, a lot of new heroes getting mixed up in this metagame. Of course, Magnetor extremely scary right now. A lot of people really worried about that. Third ban for No Titan. Now looking at Pulse's line, they're looking for some supports now. Most likely Batrider taking that suicide line. I think they're looking for probably... They might actually go for just a couple of supports here in a safe lane. They'll just run sort of a semi-tri. One support to do most of the pulling. They might just throw Quidapay mid. Batrider will do a lot of jungling and pulling there. It really depends what he's going to be up against on the hands of No Titan. Now, No Titan have their suicide lane. They're also looking for another support, probably a primary farmer. Now, they did just play a Phantom Assassin. We'll see if they go for the same plan, but I don't think so because they're looking for sort of about that 25-minute push if they can get that early. They can get that Radiance on Lone Druid. But we'll see what NTH have up their sleeve in a moment. But I get the feeling they won't try and go too late game with that hard carry. We might even see something like a Nakes again from Loda. That might be their plan. If they pick up another support and a Nakes, we'll see Lone Druid in the suicide lane, Templar Assassin mid, and then again a pulling or a jungler possibly from No Titan, and then a dual lane with the Jakiro and the hard carry. But we'll see. Chen also being banned out by Pulse. We won't see Aki playing the Chen. Enigma being banned up by No Titan. I don't blame them. There are a lot of nasty potential AoE, and of course Sven getting you off some big crit cleaves in the middle of a black hole is pretty much GG. If whoever gets caught in the middle of that. Now we have the fourth ban here from No Titan. We'll see what they've decided to get rid of.
10 seconds remaining.
But definitely Pulse looking for some hard supports here. Of course, Rubik is available. And there are definitely some decent spells to steal. Of course, Jakiro has pretty much just about everything Rubik could possibly want. And Templar Assassin can also be hilarious to get her hands on some of the... If Rubik can get his hands on some of her spells. However, we'll see what he has in mind here. But, definitely Rubik's still on the board. Of course, we might even see something like a Shadow Demon. See that popped out again. Of course, the damage amp is always fantastic when it comes to just dealing out. And
10 seconds.
When you need to rip through a very tanky hero like Lone Druid, something like the Soul Catcher is really good for helping deal with that health pool. Also, Keeper of Light also being banned out there by No Titan. Of course, he does combo nicely with Sven, helps him deal with those early mana problems that he has. Of course, well, he has mana problems throughout the entire game, generally speaking. He loves spamming that Stormbolt. And of course, his Warcry as well, and just does not have a good intel, and does not have a good regeneration rate there. But Chen being banned out by Pulse. One last ban here. I think they could be looking to ban out another support here, or maybe they're worried about the hard carry. We'll see what they've got in mind. I'm just wondering if we might even see a Shadow Shaman get banned out, just because Shadow Shaman, if they're looking for those 25-minute pushes, and there will be a Shadow Demon banned out by Pulse.
Team ban.
Of course, Shadow Demon can really annoy Sven, of course, between disruption, saving targets, or even just disrupting Sven, as well as his ultimate. Can just pin Sven down and just make it very difficult for him to get on target. It can be very, very frustrating to play against. We'll see in a minute, though. But yeah, no, I always considered the Batrider a really good way to shut down Templar Assassin. Envy telling me last night that he considers that Batrider is actually not that great against Templar Assassin. Lena being banned out is a fairly common combination as well. Could even see a Leshrac picked up to go with Sven. I mean, that's another choice. Of course, Lena with a range and a nukes combos nicely with Sven's stun. It's a very common pickup. But on the other hand, Leshrac has a similar value with his stun, although doesn't quite have the same range in his nukes. That said, he's pretty decent at pushing. You leave him with a free lane, Sven, of course, with Warcry to buff up his crit, but it will be Rexar being picked up. Okay, this could be a Rexar suicide lane, or rather, mostly he'll end up playing with the Ancients. On the other hand, Batrider may wind up in the jungle in this case. I still feel that they're looking for a support here. Rubik being picked up by No Titan, and he has plenty of great spells, of course, Stormbolt, Roar, Queen of Pains, Nukes, even the Blink is always nice, and Batrider's spells as well, always fantastic. But they've got their support sorted out now. We'll probably see Jakiro or Rubik spend most of the time pulling, so they're probably looking for some kind of hack, unless they're going to mix things up. Put Loda on the Lone Druid, because of course, when Loda played for Zenith, he did play a lot of Lone Druid there as well, so maybe it might be a bit of a switcheroo here. They could be putting Lone Druid on Loda on Lone Druid. They might pick up something. They could even pick up something like Nature's Prophet and put Bulldog there on the suicide lane with that. But now the final pick here for Pulse, and I think they are looking for a hard support without a doubt here. And this could even be a Leshrac. Leshrac would fit into this role fairly well. It might just go for some cheap braces just to keep himself alive. But we'll see what they have in mind in just a moment. Definitely, Rexar is going to be somewhat... They have a lot of stun. Pulse do have a lot of stun, and a lot of superior magic stun as well. Of course, we've got Batrider with his lasso. Beastmaster's Raw. This is really going to prevent Templar Assassin from getting too mobile. Even if she gets that fast BKB, they always have the option to shut her down. The magic immunity will be another thing altogether, but that said, as long as they can cut through those refraction charges in the end, it's all that's going to matter. We'll see what Pulse. I think they're going to burn this one down. And a Crystal Maiden, this is the support hero we have not seen a whole lot of. That said, she does help out Sven with the Mana Aura, the Brilliance Aura. And she has some nice nukes. And of course, another ability, and the ability basically, it's pseudo stun. It's more of a root than anything else, but at the same time, it's still a nice spell in the form of that Frostbite. And Crystal Maiden definitely has sort of been outshone recently as a hard support hero. Doesn't get picked up that frequently. That said, a lot of teams prefer those aggressive heroes like Lina, Leshrac, and when it comes to if they need burst mana, of course we do have Keeper Light being a much more common choice. Of course he has a huge Illuminate as well, and just some general utility in the form of his recall, being able to just teleport around the map there. And there we go, Life Stealer being picked up as a final pick, so it will be Bulldog there playing his Lone Druid, and it will be Loader on the Life Stealer instead. Now, no Tidehunter. Now, either team. Now, that said, though, Sven is probably going to best Lifesteal in the late game, but that said, he is going to be up against Lone Druid and the Lifestealer, which may cause some issues. That's a Queen of Pain can scale towards late game, but I feel like no Tidehunter. They're not going to be under that much pressure here. If they want to force this to go to late game, they don't want to push that quickly, just want to draw this out to a 35-40 minute game, I think they can quite safely do that. There shouldn't be too much trouble for them just based on those picks there. On the other hand, Pulse, so they have a fairly aggressive gank-oriented line. Lots of burst magic. The Pulse could try and push fairly early on. They do have the extra minions there from Beastmaster, especially if he picks up the Necronomicon. They might try and force the issue. And no Tidehunter don't have great presence in that early game. Of course, Lone Druid, not that valuable in the early fights. Lifestealer as well takes a little while to get going, so unless he gets a really, really fast armlet, they may run into some trouble fending off some early pushes. But we'll see how Pulse play this one out. Of course, Pulse can play very, very aggressive when they want to. Now, let's call out the players here. So, playing heroes here for Pulse, we have Fishbone playing Crystal Maiden, Mini playing Beastmaster, Wagamama playing the Sven, Rishon playing Batrider. Interesting that Sven is being played by Wagamama tonight, and Pinoy playing the Queen of Pain. And on the dire side for no Tidehunter, we have Envy playing Rubik, Aki playing Jakiro, S4 playing Templar Assassin, no surprise, Loader playing Lifestealer, and Bulldog playing the Lone Druid. Beastmaster is clearing the trees here. This is just going to help them pull in the mid lane. So we'll just allow them to just pull from, basically pull the easy camp out to here, and then drag from there down to the hard camp. And just deny the mid a lot of experience. But a 5-man sweep here from no Tidehunter. They guessed exactly what was going on, knew that the enemy were going to be clearing these trees, although it looks like Pulse are a little wary that something's happening as well. In fact, they might have managed to spot this just with it. I didn't notice. They might have actually managed to spot this just barely. But there we go. A blocking ward being thrown down there. It looks like no Tidehunter. They weren't interested in engaging. They're more interested in just getting that blocking ward down. As Aki's just checking to see if anybody pops along, just to see, get ready to stack those 30-second creep. On the other hand, we're going to have an offensive tri-lane here, possibly. Envy, along with Loader and Aki, maybe taking this defensive tri against Queen of Pain. This is going to make it very hard for Pinoy to farm. On the other hand, of course, the top lane. It looks like it's actually going to be a dual mid. Sven and Crystal Maiden as a dual mid. This is something we don't actually see that often at all. Now, Mini is probably going to be stacking these Ancients in a second. It looks like Rishon will be taking the Suicide Lane, has opened up with Boots as well, and they might be going for a quick gank here. Illusion. In the mid, maybe? If no Tidehunter can make up their mind, we'll see in a moment. The Loader will be left to his own device against Queen of Pain for the moment. Queen of Pain, of course, may take this opportunity to harass him a little bit, although she opened up with a blink. But here we go, level 1 gank incoming. They can't get the stuns down in time, though. And we see Pulse back up, or actually get on the counter-offensive slide there, just threaten to make them back off. But it looks like no Tidehunter are going to abandon their ideas of ganking mid, and will head towards the bottom lane to put pressure on Queen of Pain and make it difficult for her to farm. Loader, though, going to take some harassment there from the auto attacks. Not much he can do about that. Did he open up with a shield? Yes, he did. And right now, hasn't got any last hits in there. Pinoy's been somewhat frustrating. They can't really gank him, or can they? Ice Path's going to land as well. There we go, landing it together nicely. Queen of Pain, though, blinking away. We'll force her to potion up. We'll force her to play somewhat more defensively now, as we see Loader has opened up with a lifesteal there. Queen of Pain, though, has picked up a level 1 Scream. Should be okay, though. He does have 2 stuns to back him up at the moment. Wagamama, though, in the mid, should be getting a fair amount of farm. What is going on over here? I think, is he trying to intercept a courier? As it looks like he's possibly trying to get this courier here. I'm not too dead sure, but it looks like Mini is going to give away the first blood here, as he's likely to get run down. Actually, no, maybe not. We've got a teleport coming in here. Yes, it looks like he will get taken out as he's tossed backwards there. There are some reinforcements going. They're trying to give S4 the first blood. There we go. S4 picking up the first blood. And he has got his boots on the board now, and probably also has his, yeah, there we go. His bottle has also been picked up. I was about to say, I'd be surprised if he didn't have his bottle now as well. We saw Christopher and Sven try to show up in time to help him out, but it wasn't going to happen. I really have no idea what the hell Beastmaster was doing over there for no particular reason. Hasn't been snacking there. In fact, oh, okay, he might have been going to the enemy easy camp. Looks like he was trying to work that camp there. That is pretty much my only explanation as to what the hell he was doing. See Bulldog there. He seems to be doing alright. 8-1, although 8-0 there for the Batrider as well, as Mini now has gone back into his own jungle. Now this ward has disappeared now, so he should be able to start stacking and pulling that camp. Well, Pinoy struggling to pick up any farm now that his opponents have returned to this lane and are actually putting some pressure on. On the other hand, Loader is up 9-6 now, getting those last hits in. We'll see if he goes for the Midas build first on his lifesteal there, as we see a flame break there on Bulldog. Bulldog, though, managing to back up under the tower. Going to harass Reason back. Reason now taking damage to the bear. Not the right level to get those roots off. And, of course, opening up with those boots do make him a lot faster than the bear. Unfortunately, the bear has gone for... Well, he has gone for the early Orb of Venom there on his bear, but it's not slowing him down fast enough at all. Did he pick up the phase boots already? No, he has not. Not even close. The double damage rune being popped in the mid, though. And there we go. See that spill damage with the DD rune. Quite painful indeed. Wagamama being forced back, although he is on 9-9, so he's doing okay farm-wise at the moment. Aki, though, skulking about behind the trees, hoping to pick off Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain getting absolutely nothing now. We used to see her suicide lane every now and then, but I think this is a clear reason why she's no longer suicide lane. Or it sort of stopped after the TI1. Just because she's just a little bit too squishy. Even with the blink, she's just too squishy. Cops way too much damage, no armor, doesn't tend to buy a shield, and it's very difficult to keep her alive. And you see here, even in the safe lane, it's difficult for her to go 1v3. And I think they were really hoping to be up against a suicide laner, in this case up against Bulldog, but it's not to be. See Clarity being popped there by Batrider. Looks like a bit of reinforcements are coming down towards the bottom lane. Possibly, oh no, it's S4 actually. He's just going to check the 4-minute rune. Does find it as well. We'll just clean up these creeps before he goes to grab it. Meanwhile, Beastmaster going to cut down these trees again. There we go. He's cutting down these trees. We'll drag the creep over as well. I think he might just be trying to kill them. We'll see in a moment. Although that said, Envy as well as Aki, Spidey senses tingling, presents a potential kill. Although Mini backing up again. I don't think this is intentional. I'm not sure if it's intentional. I think he's... Oh no, it's not intentional. It's just trying to pull, in fact. And will succeed, although there is a ward toss, a radiant ward toss down there. So if Envy and Aki, if they come down here, they will be spotted. Although there's the creeper there as well. Here we go, he's stacked. Now he's going for the pull again, and he's going to come a little bit too close. Here goes Envy, comes in, Centaur stops, S4 charges in, and this should be a fairly easy kill. There's the telekinesis, Ice Path, or not, there we go, not necessary. Doesn't matter, Templar Assassin will pick up the last hit, and also harass Sven somewhat. Sven popping his armor though, will be able to cop the most of that and absorb most of that damage fairly easily. Meanwhile, Roots get procced on the Batrider there, the bear being recalled back towards Bulldog. Bulldog farming well, 19-3 actually. No, he's a little bit behind there, but it's not too bad. That said, Loader doing well, 27-15. Has picked up quite quickly. As we see the open wounds he used on Pinoy, herded straight back into Envy. What level is his blink? It's only a level 1. He's likely to fall here. An Ice Path as well. There is no escape. Dual breath to finish up.
A month of
right now, no Titan are completely in control. We see his Stormbolt tossed out by Sven. Will stop S4 in his tracks and prevent the kill. But the damage being absorbed there by a refraction charge. Teleport back to the bottom lane for Queen of Pain. Pinoy definitely not enjoying this lane too much at all. Now Lone Druid has decided to open up with Tranquil Boots as well. The bear, has he got his boots? Yes, he has. There we go. Going to cause some damage here on Rishon. Harass him. Can he proc a root? Firefly in. Looks like Rishon's going for a kill here. There we go. 4 stacks of sticky napalm. Bear is still giving chase. If he gets a root onto the tower, this is going to be devastating. Doesn't proc a root. As we see the Frostbite getting used on the bear to try and stop it. Crystal Man arriving too slow there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Rubik, 300 gold. They're still looking for those boots, doing the majority of the support. Meanwhile, Sven has bottled up an invisibility rune. See the traps being thrown up preemptively on the high ground there. Meanwhile, Bulldog having more and more sticky napalm stacked on him as he's managed to clear the old stack. But again, it starts again and again. Loaded now. Has gone straight for that miner. Should be able to handle this harassment fairly easily. Does have it infest if he needs it. See that ward getting picked off there. Sven though popping his invis, but he is visible. Well, that said, they decide not to go back. They do ping him though, and they know Sven's there now, and they know he's invis. Loader though copying a lot of damage. Pinoy though decides to infest there. Will pop out. Pinoy still level 5. We'll see if he goes for his ult at level 6 or if he decides not to. Lone Drew on the other hand, 27 and 5, farming decently. Also same for S4 there in the mid as well. Now Crystal Main really hasn't had too much of an impact here. She's had her hands full babysitting this Sven. Hasn't really been able to roam and just put some damage down because of course she is fairly nasty on the gank as well with two pseudo stables, the big AoE slow as well as the frostbite. She is pretty good at ganking people. On the other hand, does need to be careful she doesn't get caught out because she is very squishy and is quite easy to counter gank. That said, I do like the pressure that No Titan are applying across this map. It comes down to the fact that they feel they can leave Loader alone every now and then. And this allows Aki, as well as MB, to charge around the map and cause some trouble. This is one of the strong points to putting your tri-lane in the hard lane. It's because it's much easier for them to gank mid and also put pressure on the jungle. This is making it much harder for Beastmaster to use, as well as even Barrett or anybody else to use. And also allows you to come in from behind here. Come in from behind and get in behind that mid lane and try and set up these ganks. And even if you don't actually successfully pull off any kills, it does make the mid player play very, very conservatively because they're always worried about being jumped there. And now Fishbone deciding to go and help Pop Mini here. On the other hand, he was also just trying to give Wagamama some free farm time and some solo experience, while he shares his stack here with the Beastmaster instead. Now, Queen of Pain already being forced to go back once again. Now they're looking for a bit of a gank here. Mid on Sven. S4 may open up with the trap here. Sven though being fairly defensive again. This is what I mean by being defensive. Just a little bit worried about getting too close. Wagamama though considering coming, will come in. Here comes the trap. There's the slow pops. The Warcry as well. Can we get an ice path in here? Meld hit goes in. Still near level 1. Crystal Maiden shows up. A port in as well. And No Titan will wisely back up there. We have phase boots. Phase boots are done for No Tide Hunter. We'll just check the gold chart at the moment. 2k advantage there to No Tide Hunter. Meanwhile, we also have a 1k experience lead for the Dire side as well. So it looks like they are deciding to put some pressure on the top lane. See if they can pick up this Batrider. Batrider, though, has disappeared. Looks like he is back in... Yes, he is back in base, just healing up. Has picked up a smoke there. Okay, looks like they were looking for a gank. They were looking just for a bit of a pull there. For poor Aki, though, looking to put pressure on this top lane. Doesn't find anything, though. S4, though, looking for a gank on the bottom lane. If they can herd Pinoy back towards him again, although there's a lot of... Look out, there's something in the jungle here, although they might be looking for the... Yep, there is a stack there. Now, you've got to be careful with these stacking. Of course, we've seen teams steal these ancient stacks. It can be quite frustrating. And, of course, with Sven, it's one of the heroes who can steal. Mini, though, taking a lot of damage from that creep camp. Has picked up his boots now. And be getting a double pull-off there. Will manage to deny this wave pretty much. That's it. Batrider wasn't coming to this lane anyways. It looks like they're going to dive Pinoy. Pinoy now in a bit of trouble. There's a haste roller. Pinoy now able to blink out in a second there. Might be just baiting in here. Crystal Maiden teleporting in now. There's the scream. S4 caught under the tower. Refraction not going to be that helpful there. Finished off there. A bit of a waste actually. Beastmaster in the final hit. That ult not necessary. Did go for the level 6 Sonic Wave. Sven also popping his ult in the mid lane. Will not find the 10-minute rune top at his bottom and invisibility there. And then Rubik starts to pick up his level 6, sitting on level 4. Same for Mini though. Mini is definitely somewhat behind. They are pinging this camp saying, let's go and take it out or check it out. They know it's there now. They can try and clean that up with Templar Assassin with her refractions, but at the same time, and a side blade spill, but at the same time, if Sven goes in there with his ult, he could actually cause a hell of a lot of damage to it if they can protect him and keep him healed up and maybe trade hits, but they will need to be very careful if they go and do that. And honestly, it might be just a little bit too early. Now we see Loda saving up here. We'll see if he goes for the armlet first. We see Rishon takes damage. He's getting ready to cause some trouble there as we see. There we go. Firefly going to cut through. There's a stun there from the Stormbolt as well. We also get the Flame Break knocking S4 back. Sticky Napalm though as Rishon ducked back to get the tower aggro off him. Sticky Napalm again needs to keep juking. Firefly gives vision though. Melds Wild Axes to finish. And Mini will pick up that kill. Lone Druid though trading for a tower up in the top lane. And Templar Assassin is doing fairly well for a farm at the moment, so it's not going to bother her too much, that kill. But at the same time, Pulse could have definitely used it. Tell you what, who needs it though? Queen of Pain does need a couple of kills here, or at least some time to farm. As we see Loda just charging the jungle, is going to pick up the creep that he finds and just going to use that Hand of Midas. Accelerate that gold buff. See the gold minutes. See 437 there at the moment for Loda. Loda has been farming extremely well. On top of that, of course, the Midas accelerating his gold farm once again. But that said, Sven, once he starts picking up speed, give him a few stacks and he will get up there as well. Though that said, he's definitely nowhere near as well farmed at the moment. Mid lane was a fair bit more difficult for him. Only 46 and 13. I mean, really, it's a huge creep difference right now. This is what worries me. This is what really worries me for Pulse. They're the ones who have to get offensive here. They're well behind the Lone Druid, well behind the Nake. 74 and 26 for Nake, 64 and 7 there for the Lone Druid. We'll see what items he's picking up here. There we go. He's also gone for a Midas as well. His farm is going to start getting out of control. And it's going to be down to Pulse. They have to set the tempo of this match, or they're going to really struggle towards that 30-minute mark. Templar Assassin though, 1100 gold in the bank, can pick up that Blink Dagger fairly soon. They're looking for a gank in mid though, possibly Sven. Got a DD there. Looks like they're not going to be able to pick it up though. Sven deciding to back up there. Rishon also going to cause some havoc as well. Spread out the napalm some more, but Envy's here, so they can't really dive on them there. And Envy, has he, nope, still only level 5, has gone straight for Arcane Boots. Looks like there's a bit of a gank on the bottom lane. Is that open mic not working? Hang on, let me check. Okay. Must be directly tied to this now. Hang on. It looks like they...
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
Open mic is on. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not functioning then. Hang on. So I'm just going to try and fix this in-game audio. I have no idea why it's not functioning at the moment. So we're actually just going to get a bit of a gank here by S4, as it looks like he is going to get picked off though. Although Loda going to charge in, Aegis going to be wasted already, so it looks like Wogga in trouble there. They will steal the Stormbolt though. They do have that extra stun demand. Does not matter though, because Envy gets picked off, and S4 now in some trouble as well. There we go. S4 though falling very low. Going to play this one. I don't know what the hell that dive was. Never mind though. It looks like Pulse though getting the counter attack they wanted, and honestly, no time to just being way too aggressive. Unnecessarily aggressive. Now we're going to see a flame break, going to knock him away. Not Four's loaded now, just going to teleport out. No superior magic's done to finish him off. And now that that action has died down, let me just try and fix these settings. I don't know why it's not working right now. Okay.
Illusion.
Open mic is on already. Okay, that's ear splitting. Okay, that should be working now, I think. Okay, and it's still not functioning. Maybe it's... Baron are going to pick that off there. I'm just going to have to apologize. I'm going to just check one of my other settings as well. The loader absolutely going to tear Rishon apart. Rishon now regretting that immensely. There we go. Pick off there as well.
These skies belong to dragons, Batrider. Learn to walk.
And the mic's in. Virtual 1, Virtual 2, Virtual 2. That should be functioning correctly. I'm not sure why there is no in-game sound.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Give me 1 second while I
Radiant's bottom tower has
check my
fallen.
recording devices. Okay, so yeah, the microphone's functioning. Default
Radiant's
device.
middle
Alright,
tower
that's
is
set up
under
correctly
attack.
as well. I'm not sure why it's not registering my microphone then. Alright, come game 2, I am just going to shut down the client and just restart it completely. I may just need a restart at the moment.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Okay, I'm going to try restarting the client in a moment. We'll see
Dire's
what
middle
happens.
tower is under attack.
This is actually fairly irritating. Now I've got management yelling at me. Alright, let's shut down Steam. Thank you, Steam, for being a pain in the butt. Okay, so this is actually fairly vexing, but we'll try and fix it. Sigh.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There we go. Okay, stupid voice record thing is working now. I can see the symbol there. Alright, meanwhile, it looks like they have picked up another. Pulse have managed to pick up another kill, as it looks like S4 struggling somewhat in this mid lane there, as it looks like we've also got Jakira getting picked up there, but they will get that mid tower. Now Sven starting to cause pain. This is exactly what I was worried about here. This is exactly what I was worried about for S4, for No Titan. The fact that they don't really have a lot of ability to fight until the Lone Druid is ready to go. As it looks like, though, there we go. Sven going to take a lot of damage. The Bear is also coming in, has that radiance just to burn him down. He's going to try and suicide to the Ancients here. And he will actually get picked up by Wagamama. Wagamama will actually get picked up by S4 there, so in the end, getting cleaned up. Okay, so meanwhile though, Bulldog though has picked up the radiance, and of course now he hits like a truck. But that said, now that he has his radiance, now he's ready to fight, and this is going to be trouble. There we go, Loader as well. This is going to be trouble for Pulse. Now they're actually ready to fight. The thing is though, no Titan Hunter, now they're ready to fight though. They don't have to. It's down really to Sven to cause the trouble here, but they can push if they want to. But really, if this goes to towards the 40-minute mark, it is going to be just fine if they sit down and wait. Lone Druid though, 1100 gold in the bank once again, so I should check on the gold chart. Most also bring up the net worth, but it is still definitely in favour of the Dice. 7.5k advantage there at the moment, also experience wise a 5k advantage there as well. And now they're going to pick up this ancient stat. It looks like Sven did not manage to get his hands. It's one of those things you kind of gamble, you really have to gamble when you stack these ancients, because the enemy managed to steal them. In this moment, like if the enemy swooped in and started picking people off and then stole your ancient camp, that is a big loss in net value, and also you feed them a lot of money. That said though, they have got the firepower to take this, and right now I would say Pulse are fairly worried about hanging about on the enemy side of the map. Okay, so you... is it working or not? I've got people yelling in the chat still. No, they're saying it's better now. Okay, fantastic. Mini though picking up the chainmail as well. It looks like he's going for that mech. Has also gone Tranquil Boost, so it looks like he's not getting that Necromnicon instead this time around. I suppose he's had to go for slightly cheaper items. Didn't have the best of starts here, and of course Necrobook's one of the items you need to get it in a fairly timely fashion, or it's not as valuable as it could be. Also, we don't have any heroes that really rely on that huge burst of mana, as opposed to when we first saw Skeleton King sort of hitting the metagame once he got that buff to his ultimate. We saw him get picked up in a few matches, but it came down to the fact that if teams, all they had to do was buy Necromnicon, and then they could deal with him fairly easily. And would have got stolen there. Stormbolt there from Rubik can pretty much guarantee to get a good one off that Sven. Meanwhile though, top lane being pushed in by Pulse. They are going to try and take this tower. Loader though going to back up here. Doesn't want to get caught out. Has started to work towards his Mjolnir. Although going to teleport towards the tier 2. He's a little bit worried about getting ganked. The Hawk's scouting out, looking for anybody possibly trying to counter gank there. May spot up Loader in a second. Although it looks like they're going to go for the tier 2 as well. Meanwhile though, they are going to trade for a tier 2 in their own bottom lane. S4 with a double damage route and his Blink Dagger done.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Looks like Loader now going to try and get him stuck in the Sven. Sven though popping the BKB, and Loader will just back off. His rage about to come to an end. S4 teleporting top, looking for the counter gank there. Meanwhile though, we'll have a retreat here from Pulse. They will be backing up. See Pinoy working his way to most likely towards a Hex there. He's not too far away. She's in about 1500 gold away from that Hex, so it could be a lot further indeed, especially considering his lane was not fantastic. That said, Lifestealer is well above everybody else here except for the Lone Druid. He has finished up his Mjolnir. We'll see what he goes for next. Assault, maybe Assault, just to help deal with Sven's armor. Also, we'll give him a lot of good survivability against Sven, against that physical DPS, but we'll see. Okay, they're going to look around here for the Roche. For some reason, I don't have a timer. There we go, it's popping up anyway. We'll see them pick this off, most likely uncontested. I don't really think Pulse can force a team fight at this point in time. They're just trying to desperately delay this game, get a little bit of farm up, but the longer they delay this, well, it is just more time for Nates as well as the Lone Druid to farm. Maybe if they get lucky, they can get a couple of good lockdowns there, try and pick off one of these two heroes. Of course, Sven with some big crits might be able to save the day if he gets some BS on those crits, but that said, he's a long way away from finding a Daedalus. Another stack here. We're going to feed that to Loader once again. Actually, no, he's going to feed some of these to the supports, actually. In fact, he is. Or unless Envy was just being a jerk and stealing the dragon because he could. Meanwhile, though, Rexa also going to try and take a tamp here with Fishbone. Fishbone, though, fairly poor. Also, Rexa has finished up his mech, though. That's done and dusted. Pinoy still trying to farm up here. 700 gold away from that Hex might help them bring things down. Well, that's the Assault Courier is being built here by the Lone Druid, so we won't see Nate's building the Assault. Doesn't really need a secondary one on the team. Might actually just go for a Stygian instead. That's also a possibility. He could just go for that Deso if he wanted to. Just all that negative armor, absolutely fantastic stuff against the Sven. You do need a lot of negative armor to help cut through. This Warcry is ridiculous at the moment, the amount of armor it gives. I think it's 16 at max. See the Mini in a lot of trouble here. The minion's going to get picked off, although I might even want to kill that boar because it's slowing him down. See Sven though, going to pop his aura head up here as well. Stormbolt incoming. There we go. Stormbolt popped in. So we see Pinoy jump in on top of him as well. Pinoy though doesn't have his Hex up just yet. Still 100 gold shy. That Bulldog going to continue fleeing. He's in fact just going to teleport out here. As you see the Raw go down. They're going to cancel that teleport. Telekinesis ult there from Queen of Pain. There's the Sonic Wave. Envy now also having to back up Queen of Pain blinking. Though he steals the blink and blinks away as well before she can scream. They will avoid giving away the secondary kill there, but at the same time, not a great pick off there, although they cancel the port out there. Pinoy now going to come back. Envy needs to be careful. There's the telekinesis. He will need to blink here possibly. Mech gets popped, still losing health rapidly, blinks away, and now it's going to be Queen of Pain. Going to blink away from Jakiro. Jakiro, the Ice Path was not ready to go. Dual Breast, still only level 1 Jakiro. In fact, leveling up the Liquid Fire. Throws it, no! Doesn't hit. Nice attempt. Might have actually just clipped her if she kept running instead of blinking. But Sven now picking up a Mask of Madness for insane attack speeds. Still needs the damage though from the big crits. Still looking for that Daedalus. Roshan spawns every 10 minutes after he dies. It's just for Zaris there. Four staff down for the Batrider. It does give him some nice ability. Of course, you blink in, you hit the last two, and then four staff back out. At the same time, do need to be careful about getting slammed by those stuns. Of course, if he gets instantly telekinesis, he won't be four staffing anyway real quick, and could get picked off by a couple of big hits there. Of course, Lifestealer really hurting. Of course, meld hits right now from Templar Assassin, extremely painful. She has 3.4k in the bank, so we're probably looking for I was going to say she probably is going to go for a BKB, but on the other hand, then again, I mean, there are two superior magic disables on the enemy team. She might even just go, you know what, let's get a Manta Style instead, but we'll see what S4 has in mind here. Looks like there we go, the blink in, going to pick off the Lone Doll, pick off the Lifestealer here, Stormbolt getting tossed in as well, Lifestealer getting chopped to pieces before he could do a thing, Envy also getting taken out with the attack speed from Sven, really stinging. Can they get another Stormbolt down here? It has a long cooldown, so here a Frostbite get tossed down, not sure who that was thrown on, I think it was on top of the bear actually. Stormbolt is up, there we go, getting tossed on Bulldog, Bulldog now in some trouble, so we're going to see the turnaround there, the Roar once again, Flame Break back, and Crystal Main throwing down her ultimate for good measure there. Oh, Queen of Pain though, goes down to the bear in the meantime. Bulldog going to take one with him, but that said, we have got the push coming from S4 at the same time. S4 now getting hit by the Napalm as well as the Firefly. Going to lose his refraction to that. We'll have to decide to back off. 3.8k in the bank for him. That said, net value, we still are a good 3,000, 4,000 gold ahead there for the Lone Druid as well as the Lifestealer. It's still quite painful. It's S4 as we see the Ice Path get tossed out. Only hit Crystal Main as she walks to a Meld hit thrust in there. We have got refractions in 3 seconds, although it doesn't have the mana for it. Now pops it. There we go. Pops the magic wand. However, gets cops a stun before she can do it. Doesn't matter though. We'll be up in a second. Crystal Main gets picked off. Sven now in trouble. Ice Path going to catch him. Dual Breath going to slow him down as well. Wild Axe is tossed in. A slow down loader. Loader now going to hit that Mjolnir there as they will manage to get away just in time. Sven porting out, as we will see Wagamama teleport away to safety, or the ports back towards bottom lane to stop the push there. Beastmaster being left on his lonesome up in the top lane, 1800 gold in the bank. Just wonder if we'll see him go for a blink, just to get that initiation. We'll see in a moment. They had the double blink there, the Roar, as well as the last two blinking. They can pick off two heroes very quickly, at least isolate somebody quickly. Loading now 1900 in the bank as well. We'll see what he goes for next. S4 is going to tank these tower hits. He's going to regenerate though with the backdoor protection. Lone Druid, they're going to push mid on his own, still working towards that. So he Batrider though, lassoes somebody. Who's he picked up? S4 now gets Cops the Roar as well. Stormbolt going to combo him. And a couple of bad pickoffs here. S4 maybe being a little bit too aggressive, getting picked off twice now. Although, admittedly, one of them was an Aegis death. Still Lifestealer, still farming well, but they've got to be careful about giving Sven too much time to farm as well. Of course, Sven, now that he's got the Crystals, I mean, with the Daylist, if he gets a couple of good crits when they have these lockdowns, it could be an issue. And then we have Templar Assassin actually went for the Desolator, so what is Nake's building then? 2.1k in the bank. Okay, we'll see what he decides to go for here. Going to teleport to the bottom lane as well. Templar Assassin's got the Desolator. We'll see. We've got the Assault Courier's already been built there on the Lone Druid. And there we go. It's finished up now. He's going to be sent out towards him. They do need to be careful because the problem is if they leave this too late, there is going to be one issue. Of course, the Lone Druid himself hits quite hard, but at the same time, they keep losing the bear. It's going to be quite annoying. And towards the 35-40 minute mark, we might actually see Lone Druid transfer the items over from the bear because once Sven gets Dayless, given a couple of good stuns, he could actually pick off the bear fairly easily. See Nates get picked up again. Pops a Rage. They're going to tear Crystal Maiden apart. There we go. Shatters her. The slows get tossed down to the Batrider. 4-staff is on cooldown. It's going to be hard for him to get away. A Meld hit there as well. Easy kill. And unfortunately, that gank backfiring horribly. And there we go. Lifesteal. It's still 3.2k now. What is he going to grab? Blink out there from TA. 600 gold for her. See what Lifestealer goes for next. So I'm going to bring up the item. Here's doesn't look at anybody's meant to pick up anything particularly, although that's the Hex. Aside from the Hex has been finished for a couple of fights now. Queen of Pain picking that up. Otherwise, the items are all fairly bog standard stuff here. Well, that's it. Envy does have a Blink Dagger now. That is definitely going to help him out in terms of mobility. And also just setting up, just getting Just getting those spells at the right moment, stealing the right spells. You see the Stormbolt tossed out there, the bear getting recalled, but however, being chased back towards them there with that stun. The mid to bottom tower about to fall here. Loader now popping the armor once again. Wild Axe is coming in. Wolf decided to back up. Doesn't want to get picked up here by some of those superior magic stuns. Roar is up as well as Lasso. In fact, all the ultimates are up apart from the steal here. What did he get? He managed to pick up. Oh, okay. We got a double blinking Rubik. We've seen from G exactly how nasty this can be. The mobility that you give a Rubik can be absolutely fantastic. Although that said, he doesn't have the same levels of items that G had as a solo mid Rubik. They're going to go for Roshan once again. Still not up. Another 2.5 minutes or so. That said, looks like Templar Assassin about to get picked off again. Potentially blinks away though. She will be safe. Still wondering what Nakes is going to pick up here. Although, hang on, wait a minute. I think something's been bought. Okay, Nakes has picked up a hype. Are they going for, okay, he might be going for the Assault Curious as well. Just fairly sure Lone Druid. I'm fairly sure it's not Lone Druid's hype. But yeah, Lone Druid's is done. So it looks like Nakes may be going. I mean, this could just be for pure attack speed, but at the same time, Nakes could be going for this just for the armor. And of course, the armor will give him a lot of survivability against Sven. So I think that is always a potential buy there for him. Just for the positive armor effect. Also in case they lose the bear. And we see the lasso there on Envy. Envy now in some trouble. That said though, Ice Path tossed in. Envy blinking out. Loader now getting stunned. Not sure what managed to stun him there through his rage. That's it. Stunned. It's tossed down by Sven. Sven though going to try and teleport out. No stun there from the Lone Druids. It looks like the Batrider will continue to blink away and then teleport out. Meanwhile though, that said, same can't be said for Mini. Mini about to get picked up. Crystal Maiden likely to fall as well. Oh no, Crystal Maiden about to get picked up. No escape for a pops her ultimate as a final screw you. But it was an easy kill. And this looks like a potential Rax. 2 heroes down. Buyback available for Beastmaster. Crystal Maiden though, not available at all. So it will be a 4v5 most likely. And it will be a rough matchup here for them. And then we go the buyback from Beastmaster. The Firefly being tossed down to try and pick off the creep as they push. Although that said, no time to decide to back, in fact, teleport back to the mid. There's a BKB being picked up there by Queen of Pain. And Loader might even just do a Basher next. I mean, that's also a possibility. It would just help him lock down that Sven. Any interrupting stun is always a big pain. That said, he will be doing Assault. There we go. See, just doing it for the armor here, not so much the negative armor. And just will give him a lot of survivability against the bear. And in fact, Lone Druid has in fact done the Basher himself. I think Bulldog does these quote-unquote pub builds, so who knows, he might even get the secondary Basher on himself as well and just go for full-on bash power. The double Basher Bear is always hilarious, but we see Aki now about to get picked up. Twin-headed Dragon just get dragged that Firefly. We see the 700, 800 crits coming out from the Sven. Sven though getting stunned at the moment. Down goes the Bear. They've lost their firepower there. Another Bear is available. They want to spawn it. Loader also getting picked up here. I think Bulldog is going to avoid spawning his Bear just in case he dies, because he doesn't want to be caught out with all the Bears down. As now S4 trying to get some comeback here. Not going to happen though. Goes Mini, doesn't get a lot of deaths there. A buyback there from S4 though. Do we have a buyback on Loader? No, we don't by the looks of things. And this is what I mean about that armor. That would have been so useful for him. It just did not get delivered in time. They will have to ride out that 50-second downtime. Meanwhile though, that said, Pulse aren't doing a lot of pushing right now. Let's check the gold chart. Still a 14k advantage to the Radiant. To the Dire, and a 9,000 experience as well as the Hex down. S4 though liking it, picked up again. There's a stun. Sven charging in, gets the kill there. Crystal Maiden actually sniping it with a Crystal Nova there. This definitely a big blow. Now they can go for the Roshan with a buyback wasted. Definitely a good pick off there. S4 definitely way too aggressive with very little map vision. And they've got these wards down here that kind of don't really help out a whole lot. Both those wards belonging to the Dire there, unfortunately. And we'll see this peaked off, and I don't think they can do much to stop this, although Bulldog going to send the Bear. In fact, they've decided to try and pick off Pino if they can. The Bear, though, Macropod tossed in a good counterattack. In fact, they will make something happen. Fishbone down as well. Sven popping the BKB. Bulldog needs to be careful. Doesn't want to lose that Bear. It's a Warcry now. Telekinesis as well. The Bear going to pick him off there with the roots, and now they're going to turn this around. No Tidehunter. Somehow pulling that around with an excellent Macropod. Flame Break, though, being tossed in. I don't think Batrider's got the firepower, though, to deal with Bulldog himself. Also, we have Lifestealer has returned as well. In fact, Nake's coming around in the mid as it looks like he's going to try and pick off that Batrider though. Where's he gone? He hasn't managed to blink yet. He was anticipating a blink or a 4-star there from Batrider, and he's just getting ready to hurt him. And there we go. He was waiting for it. Fantastic play there by Loader. Positioning was absolutely fantastic. Ice Path though used a lockdown region. There we go. One more hit, and Lifestealer takes a kill. Oh, Pulse, they must have been so happy. They thought they had that. And then Jakiro with the macro pie, only level 2. And the bear as well, causing all sorts of havoc. And Sven going down again. Just didn't quite have the damage there, but they will take this tier 2. I'm surprised they're actually not going for the bottom lane there. Although actually, no, the creep wave's a long way off. So in fact, they're just going to push this tier 3 mid tower, the barracks tower. Crystal May not really able to achieve a whole lot at the moment. Rexar is up, they didn't even worry. Serious. In fact, now they've got the creep inside the base. They are going to go for this Rax, try and burn it down quickly. The Queen of Pain cancels support. They may actually get this. Then we've got Demolish working its wonders there on the tower. In fact, on the Rax, they're just going to charge here and finish it off. And they will need to get out there. Loader, though, does have Infest up. He could try and hide the creeps. He's got none up. Ice Path misses Crystal Main. Loader now pops the cheese there. Should be okay as he's going to turn around, try and take out Sven. Meanwhile, Crystal Main down again. The bear running for his life will get picked up. A is coming up now as well. As we're going to have Wagamama, though, throws out the stun there. Stormbot on Loader. Loader going to rage up in 2 seconds. Ice Path there. Wagamama falling. And now Telekinesis there on Mini as well. Mini goes down. Batrider force starting forwards. Grabs the bear. I'm not sure if he intended to get the bear. I'm pretty sure he was aiming for one of the heroes. Trying to drag him into the fountain. But a good snipe there by No Time. A great counter-attack. And that Roshan counter-attack sealed that one for them. A good turnaround, especially since S4 gave away a really critical kill there at mid. And it looks like they're going to go for the double racks here as well. That bottom fight loss, there's not a lot Pulse can do about this. It looks like No Time Under are going to take this match, set up this game 1-0. See a blink out there. In fact, they're not done yet. In fact, they're going to keep pushing. So we see Pulse. Now, normally when you see a lone druid lineup, generally speaking, they try and get the ball rolling right around about the 25-30 minute mark, try and cause a lot of damage around about them. When they get that early, get those pushes rolling, when they get that 20-minute radiance or so, and start trying to cause a lot of damage. But we see in No Time, they're quite happy to sit back and spend a lot more time playing well defensively, because I think they probably figured, you know what, Sven versus the lone druid and the lifesteal late game, we can handle that. It's not going to be too much of an issue, especially since Queen of Pain really had her farm crippled in the early game. She didn't get that free farm she wanted, and in fact got barely anything.
To the temple's defense.
Only the smallest of morsels, but it looks like Pulse are actually going to fight this one out here at the moment. They're looking for another kill here, potentially. See the Hex down there on top of the... Whoa. Fast PE. It looks like Fishbone not even bothering to frostbite. Says, you know what, screw it, he's just going to run away anyway. Not going to be able to deal the damage necessary. S-Ball over the haste and a double damage. You could not get any more greedy. Raw though, Loader. Loader now in some trouble. Maybe get taken out of here. Willing to infest inside somebody. Flamebreak as well. Hides inside. Looks like he will get cleaned up in the end though. Sven gets taken out as well. As it looks like Mini though, the next to fall. The bear is tearing him apart. Lone Drill Bulldog is all over in here. Not going to allow him to run away there as he will have a bash there on Queen of Pain. The bear goes down, but he's got another one in his pocket. Will resummon it there. Can he get a bash off? Queen of Pain blinking out. Mini's brought back. He is back up now. The bear though gets a bash. Will it get the roots as well? Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave there. The bear though still going after Queen of Pain. She will blink into the fountain, try and get away. As now the bear out of attack range. In fact, the bear going to dive, gets frostbitten. And now Lone Druid, in fact, losing his bear. His last one, in fact. Likely to get picked off here, although still running away. Queen of Pain going to chase after him and Scream in a second. There we go. Blink is up. Here she comes. Scream, Blink. There we go. Can they get a follow-up here? Couple of auto attacks. Doesn't have any levels of Shadow Strike, so she can't slow him down. The mech being popped there by Jakiro. Looks like she may get away unless Batrider can really catch up. Ice Path tossed around. There we go. The turnaround. Queen of Pain overstaying a welcome. Gets taken out. Wild Axes do not connect. Loader, though, still charging back in here. Going to pick off the minions there. Crystal Main also getting shattered there in the meantime. As Loader slowed significantly by that sticky napalm. Flamebreak getting tossed in there. They're still going after Bulldog. Bulldog just not caring. Still moving in. Wild Axes again missing. Meanwhile, Batrider will just barely get away, or maybe not. Jakiro force-staffing forward is going to try and get this Flamebreak knocking him back there. Templar Assassin to finish the fight, although they will have the twin-headed dragon picked up as well. Doesn't really matter though. Loader has also grabbed his own Cranium Basher here. His own Skull Basher, picking that on up there. Gotta love those bash shots. Lone Druid going to go for the double bash. Has picked up Jakiro's gem, but it doesn't really matter though. It looks like they will pick off Sven once again. Sven though, look at that damage here. Just a burst damage there from Templar Assassin. So painful, the negative armor. Lone Druid being dragged into the fountain, being targeted by the fountain, and S4 also just going to dive in there because he can, giving them away these kills. Meanwhile though, Loader though, going to keep working on these towers. We'll manage to get that. Look at his attack speed, absolutely ripping through these. And GG is called. We will have, in fact, GG not being called by Pulse. Not really, see Batrider getting picked up there. Crystal Main, though, going to pop her ult a bit. In fact, counter ulted there by Ambi. Says, yo, why not?
Radiant's Ancient.
Meanwhile, we'll have the Ancient down in a second, but definitely a great turnaround there. But I really thought No Time were in a bit of trouble there when they lost that third Roshan. But in the end, then they were holding a good gold lead at all times. As you can see, the 20k at the 20k at around about the 35-minute mark extended to 30,000, a 30,000 gold lead by the end of the game. So they were farming very, very ferociously. Anyway, though, that was only game 1, guys. In a best of 3 series, we'll be back with game number 2 in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned for that.